Congratulations, Ankur. And I would like to understand what was the idea behind this startup? It sounds interesting. Can you give us a
Yeah,
perspective on that?
thank you so much. Rosanna is an idea. We actually, first of all, we need to understand what we do. We deliver products to people in rural areas which are technically defined by gram panchayats. Those are the areas we deliver products to. So when we talk about India, India is a large country. We have large population, but we hardly understand that 70% of India's population live in rural areas and is very, very far away from technological innovations. And forget about technological innovations, this world is very far away even from being served by legacy brands like HUL, like PNG. Our consumer still walks 5 to 10 kilometers one way to get as basic product as a bottle of edible oil or maybe a packet of sugar. And if they have to buy stationery, they need to go and walk probably 15-20 kilometers or take a public transport and go there. And if it is a product like books, they still might have to go to a city like Lucknow, which could be 60-70 kilometers away from where they live. And in this process, they end up losing their day's wages. They end up leaving their child at home. So there are so many nuances of this population, and interestingly, this population adds to 50% of India's GDP. And this is the population where, forget about e-commerce, as I said, no legacy brand also has reached. We have very small regional and local brands which service this consumer. And we have been working with these communities and this population India has for very long time in my previous startups also. And with that journey we understood that there is a large gap between what this consumer needs and what we serve this consumer with. And this is the gap we found, and that's when we started Zona. Now we deliver products to 12,000 villages. These villages are across UP and Haryana. India has around 6 lakh gram panchayats. We are around in 12,000 of them and hope we reach some more. So that's largely what we do. And we start with FMCG products. We give them like a deliver sanitary pad for a woman, a book for a child, a history book, a political science book, a book for a child aspiring to study, maybe shoes for people preparing for armed forces, and or chappal for elderly who are living in cities, whose children are living in cities. So we provide all of these stuff, basic, from starting from basic necessities to aspirational products. We bring all of them to this population, and they can get it the very next day. So you order today, you'll get tomorrow. Where we will in future will attempt that you order today, you'll get today.
How,
So
how different is the rural consumer from the urban consumer? Because you're really addressing the heart of
so
India.
actually human beings are same,
Yes.
essentially same. You and I
Yes.
are you and I,
Yes.
essentially we smile, we have
Yes.
aspirations, we
Yes.
feel happy, we feel sad.
Yes.
So essentially, in my opinion, human beings are same. All of us have aspirations. The only difference in my opinion is that today, when I'm an entrepreneur, I try to solve for whatever I see around me. I can't, if I can't imagine a world, how will I go and solve for it? I felt hungry, I made a Zomato. I wanted to go somewhere and I needed a car, so we made a Ola Uber. But this consumer, we never thought about that consumer. So this is the consumer we never built any product for. So whatever products we built for urban India, we just sent it to them. So it's not that the consumer was never aspirational. They were always aspirational. They always aspire, but we don't make products for them. So it is. I think it is more about us than about them. It's just the same human being. We launched, interestingly, we launched a product. We launched some cosmetic products. Just tried to test that how will the consumer behave there. The highest selling product was red lipstick. It just amused us so much that wow, this is so nice, and this is exactly the same consumer as we see in any other city counterpart. It's absolutely same, just that we have to fulfill whatever they need. We have to make products for them. We don't make products for them. We at least think that we make products for them, but we technically don't. There are very few products made thinking that consumer in mind.
Right.
So that's
As a
largely.
platform, how do you ensure that the brands at one end, who you're who want to reach rural consumers, how do you ensure that you're able to get those brands on board and also that they're able to deliver to rural consumers?
So we, so we are a Yes, we are a platform definitely, but we definitely buy products, store in a warehouse, and then deliver to the consumer.
Yes.
We curate products based on the need of the consumer. We live close to, one of my co-founders live in a village close to the consumer, so we live close to the consumer, understand what the consumer needs, buy those products from the brands. We reach out to distributor, super distributor, sometimes companies directly depending on the volumes that we need. So we reach out and people are more than willing to explore this customer because, as I said, it's an underserved customer. So people are more than willing to try out new products with the consumer or try to service them with the current offerings itself also. So it's bringing products to the consumer is not tough. The tougher part is to build the right product for the consumer. Building the right product itself is the task.
I understand. Are you finding popular brands also coming on your platform now?
They
Or
do. We
or
have,
it's largely the local and regional.
so we have a mix of both,
Yes.
but definitely regional and local brand take a larger share of the consumers, what consumer buy. Could be because of the targeted marketing they
Yes.
do,
Yes.
the because of the proposition of the product they offer to the rural consumer. So there are many nuances to why a consumer buys a regional or local brand more, but there are, at the same time, there are some hero products also which never go. It can, Parle is one of them, so it never goes out of fashion, so it's always there. Everyone wants it. I eat it for my breakfast, and similarly my consumer in village also eat it.
Any more such hero products?
Yeah, there, Parle being the biggest one in my opinion. I think that is irreplaceable product.
Last week you received funding from Bertelsmann and a few
Yeah.
other investors.
Yeah.
You know, do you see that a validation of the work that you're doing?
So I think, of course, people trusting more in what we are trying to build, people trusting more in rural market in itself is great, but I think there is a long way to go. I think it's just the beginning. But at least few people, of course, few people in this world understood that there's a consumer that exists. It took us, I think, 2 years to just explain that this is also a consumer. This is also, otherwise people used to ask me, आप NGO चलाती हैं क्या? आप seed बेचती हैं क्या? So that's what people used to ask me. It took us some time to make people understand that this market exists.
Given that this platform is all about a celebration of women entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
What are the challenges you're seeing? Of course, urban areas, we all know of the challenges that exist as far as the so-called class ceiling goes. When it comes to rural women, I understand the challenges would double up. What are you seeing as
Actually, you'll be very surprised by what I'm going to say. We have 30,000 women entrepreneurs who deliver products for us in villages. Around 18,000 of them order every month. They place, or actually they deliver products for us. So they help our consumers place order on the platform and they deliver products to them. Interestingly, you will find them most vocal, most confident people you would have ever met, even comparable to people you saw speaking on stage today. As comparable. It is so interesting. I know it's a very counterintuitive answer that I'm giving, but yeah, general gender bias you definitely face in villages, but you will be surprised by how, what do you say, how should I express this? How entrepreneurial they are in themselves, and how are they looking for just one opportunity. When we go to just one village, you will meet hundreds of women coming together and asking, first making demands, and then talking about what can they do with us. Can they make a product? And we can help them sell it on their platform. Can they do more deliveries? Can they learn tech and train other people? So you'll be surprised by what all they want to do, and what all, I think, over time people have grown, evolved. I think in, even just like in cities, people have also evolved in villages also. So at least some of them, of course not all of them, but at least some of them you would find as ambitious, as capable, or even more than what you interact with every day in cities, what we like, the kind of people we meet and interact every day. So I think of course there's a divide, but good thing is, like, to celebrate the good thing out of it is that if there are 100 women in a village, you'll at least find 20 which are like this, which are so vocal. And to show you this, sometime please find some time and visit some of our villages.
right?
It'll be so amazing to witness when we go there. Thousands of people gather and they write songs for Rosanna. वो ढोल वोल बजाते हैं, मालाएं पहनाते हैं कि our life has, how our life has changed just by getting a simple product. we were so ignorant of that consumer. Just by getting a simple product, diaper मिल गया बच्चे का, तो wow, my life has changed. It is so simple. It's just a diaper.
5 years from now, where do you see Rosanna?
I hope we are at 12,000 villages. I hope we reach at least 1 lakh villages by then.
Right.
India has around 6.5 lakh, so I hope we reach there.
Right.
And hopefully I think the markets are right now going towards rural, and people have started understanding that the consumer exists. And I hope more companies come forward. I hope more products are built for rural market, because as I said, we don't make products for them. So I hope that comes a new era of entire D2C brands can actually come in and look at that consumer, understand that consumer, and build products for them. So if we do that, I think not only Rosanna, I'm sure there'll be many companies can come and start servicing that consumer, which we have kept technically deprived.
Interesting. One last point. What are the learnings you've learned from Vinny Bansal, who you've worked with in the past as well?
Yeah, so with Binny, I have not worked with Binny. I have had very interesting conversations with Binny, have had opportunities to meet with him, and he visited villages with us.
Yes.
So yeah, many learnings, and not only from Binny. I would say I met Deep Kalra, Make Metric founder,
Yes.
met Vivek Gupta, he's a Licious founder, he's
Yes.
one of our board members. So I think all the entrepreneurs definitely agree on one very important thing, that is, we just go towards what your consumer says, hear the voice of your consumer, build your product in a designed to ensure that your customer feels delight. So if you're doing that, and just keep your governance strong, if you do that, I think you will ensure that things are on the right track, and the company becomes a company that actually deserves, considering where we operate. So that's what I think all the entrepreneurs I have met in my journey have to say, and I hope I look forward to learning from others I meet in this journey.
Thank you so much.